it is my pleasure to welcome Hasan Piker.
What an honor to be here. Thank you so much for having me, College Democrats of America. It's a great honor to be here in the heart of the American empire, in the belly of the beast, speaking to the future activists of the Democratic Party, but as an outsider currently pushing for an insurgency. To be honest, when I first got the call from this organization, I first said, I don't know what that is, I'll be honest. I apologize. And then they told me they hadn't held a national convention of this size since the Nixon era. So give yourselves a round of applause for that. And then I was a little worried, I'll admit. Me and the Democratic Party were not so close as of late, as many of you know. I thought to myself, perhaps the Center for American Progress has set up a trap for me. Near attendant, are you in the room? I apologize for everything I've said. After all, it's not a secret that there are many, many people in the Democratic Party that wish that I would go away, who wish that this movement would go away. Well, I'm here to tell you, we're here to stay. Now, a lot of people, including probably your future employers or your current employers, they call me a lot of names. They say I'm an idealist, a radical, a terrorist. The one thing that they don't call me is a liar. And I think that anyone who wants a better future for the world, let alone this country, needs to understand that it is our job to always seek truth from facts. We must always expand our knowledge of the world around us and to use that knowledge to build a worldview, and then we can move on to change the world. And the reason why I stress this is because a lot of people, they see this as a career. And I work with a lot of campaigns. I've worked with establishment Democrats in the past, and right now I'm working with a lot of Democratic Socialists all around the country. And the one difference that I always see is moral conviction. Moral conviction to always say the truth. And an endless thirst to understand exactly what's going on. We have a lifetime of social conditioning that has guided our lives, that has motivated the way that we see the world. Sometimes that means we have a lot of blind spots. But moral conviction is really important, because that is what makes the difference between the insurgents and the establishment Democrats that are simply following along. And I think that anyone and everyone here must constantly push for this. This task takes on a new importance today. Lies and disinformation are the currency of our enemies on the right. Unable to compete with us over here in reality, right-wingers instead try to make humanity live in their dangerous fantasy land, constantly finding new enemies in our neighborhoods to position as a reason for why we are all experiencing the same struggles born out of capitalism. But sometimes, I'm a glass half full kind of guy. When the right traffics in lies, the lane for telling it like it is wide open. And whoever can do that, whoever can tell the truth, they will own the future. But people fail this basic test all the time, especially in Washington, D.C. Now, I'm sure that many of you in this room feel the same energy that I do, a feeling shared by more and more people all the time of frustration. Frustration with decades of political ineptitude in the face of rising fascism. Many people in this room have only known Trump, but to the older folks here and also watching at home, think about that for a second. The only politics that people in this room have ever known is shot through with Donald J. Trump. Political life shaped from above by a narcissistic tyrant who enriches himself, his ridiculous family, the Epstein class, as well as the billionaires who were smart enough to get caught, smart enough to avoid getting caught. Sorry. As well as the billionaires who were too smart to get caught, going to Little St. James, and even a billionaire who was uninvited from Little St. James Island because his lives were that atrocious for the pedophiles. Although American politicians have never been much at truth-telling, for over 10 years, the terms of our discourse have been set by a megalomaniacal pervert. The late writer Mike Davis summed up our situation well in his final published essay a few years ago. He said, "Unlike the high Cold War when politburos, parliaments, presidential candidates, and general staffs to some extent balanced megalomania at the top, there are few safety switches between today's maximum leaders and Armageddon. Never has so much fused economic, media, and military power been put into so few hands. To you, young people of America who have chosen to enter the world of electoral politics, I know that you have grown up in this degraded era where bigotry and deceit are so blatantly rewarded in society. An era in which our rulers would rather choke us with wildfire smoke than re-examine how our way of life damages our planet, the only home we'll ever know. This wretched era in which the third world is staring down disaster because of the upheaval caused by ours and Israel's war on Iran. This ridiculous era in which a Supreme Court dominated by religious nutjobs rewrites our laws at will. In this world, I know even just a little bit of truth can feel like a life raft. It's why so many of you are in this room, because you meet other people like yourselves and you talk about these problems together and you feel both less alone and closer to the truth. It's fair to say, as I've repeated over and over again, as you all know, that I am not a friend of many people in the Democratic Party. But that's okay. In politics, if you're everyone's friend, then you're no one's friend. But I am here today because the times have gotten very strange and new political opportunities are all around us. Chances for us to push radical political change through an electoral system that right now is going through a transformation. You can feel the changes with every news story. This sense of backlash that's in the air. Inflation is not under control. Data centers that no one wants are taxing energy grids, fueling an AI bubble that may not really replace you, but will get you laid off regardless. It seems like every week, our masked Gestapo, ICE, kills another innocent person. In all my years, I don't remember seeing this much blood on American pavement. I often say that the United States is an empire in decline. And home, that means we are a nation in crisis. But where so much of Washington sees dangerous instability, I and many of you see promise. I see a real opportunity to change this country's trajectory, to improve the lot of humanity. And I know you feel it too. It's rooms like these that remind me just how many people see right from wrong and want to do something about it. All around the country, we're getting real fighters elected. Fighters who see the crisis and can describe it in clear and truthful terms. This means demanding an end to the endless wars, an end to profiteering off of health care, an end to the rule by people who put the interests of capital over the interests of the working class. It's talk like this that has Washington terrified. It's talk like this that has MAGA terrified. These people in hate movements who try to control our lives are most afraid of popular action, of democracy, of the people. They're afraid of us because of the simple fact that there are more of us than there are of them. There always have been, and there always will be. There are more good, decent people with moral conviction who find it unfathomable that the wealthiest nation on earth chooses to spend its billions blowing up schools overseas rather than building schools in our neighborhoods. Kind people who can't understand why, in the wealthiest nation on earth, there are hundreds of thousands of people who will go to sleep outside tonight, and millions more who live paycheck to paycheck. Hardworking people, frustrated that an honest day of labor delivering packages, cleaning counters, or teaching children is no longer enough to take care of a family or own a home. All the while, the world's wealthiest man sits around tweeting racist screeds and unfunny jokes as people grow his net worth into the trillions. I should add that none of this is an accident. The inequality is the design of our system. When you see broken down towns in a state of disrepair, or potholes that never get filled, or homeless people suffering in the streets, remember, this is the design of our system. It is not the moral failings of the individual, but a whole architecture where the ultra-rich stick their hands in the pockets of everyone else. Just as every person who has no shelter is a policy failure, every billionaire is a policy failure. But just as every billionaire is a policy failure, every congressperson who's refused to change these policies have failed you, have failed all of us. They have placed corporate interests above the interests of the people. I say no more, and we say no more. I've traveled all around the country. I've talked to countless people over dozens of protests, gone to rallies, I've gone to marches, I've gotten shot at by my own law enforcement that I pay with my taxes the salary of. And all I ever hear from the people by my side is no more. And not just, thank you. And not just the no more to Trumpism, but no more to the Democrats who compromise, who conciliate, and who betray us. No more to the fascist reactionaries, but no more to the Democrats who will collaborate and cooperate with the fascists, who will fund ICE, who will fund Israel, who will help